Hi, this is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot, and today is Sunday, March 2nd, and I'm standing in my backyard here in Dallas, Texas. As you can see, it is still winter time. It's really beautiful outside, but I would do this recording outside. Anyways, I wanted to talk about my prophecy around the new money system and to just kind of give you a little context behind what I just kind of uncovered. I've got some notes in my hands to make sure I hit all my talking points. To get started, you know, we're really kind of conditioned to fear money. And the way that we manifest money, to me, and like in the 3D reality, it's like the water faucet. So I'm kind of standing behind my pool, you know, where you can see the water coming. To me, that's a flow of abundance, right? And the more money we want, the stronger the flow. The only thing is, it's got to catch somewhere. And to me, my bucket, I've been catching it with this like a damn colander, you know, like the kind, that bowl that you have holes in it. So when you're, you know, draining out your spaghetti, it all kind of falls out. That's my catch-all bucket. And it was amazing me that the more money I was making, the more was going out, and I was never getting ahead. So I had to kind of acknowledge that first and foremost, like, what is that container that I'm catching money in? And how do I address that in my own life? But going back to the notion of like, there's a fear around money, and particularly how it's being used as control. When we're talking about this prophecy for a new financial system, I do kind of have a sense of fear around that too, right? But all of that's shifting after I had my reading this morning. So going into it, I was thinking it was going to be this big, huge crash. You know, the banks are going to close, the whole system is going to shut down, we're not going to have a supply chain, like all of that. And it's been really upsetting me for a couple of years because I genuinely do have that in my belief system that that's what was going to happen. And so I've prepared, and boy, am I a prepper. I'm super prepared. I want it, you know, like I'm a planner. And so I'm getting ready for this, and it's not happening. And there's a part of me that's like pissed that it's not crashing to the ground. And I'm like, oh my God, like how selfish of me, because there's a lot of people around that aren't necessarily planning for this stuff. So I did the cards this morning, and to me, you know, if you're like nervous around tarot cards or whatever, first of all, you probably wouldn't be watching this channel. But for those who are kind of naysayers around tarot cards, it's no different from people that are like very much in the Christian faith, where they say, God spoke to me, I heard his voice. Well, God spoke to me too. I'm just a visual learner, and I use cards as a way to help interpret energy. And then I leverage my own insights to gain deeper knowledge of it. And I'm actually getting better and better at understanding and interpreting the cards with a much more esoteric perspective, and I can apply that to any question. So I'm actually really loving the tarot cards as a tool to help me. So anyways, that's what I have to say about that. But when it comes to prophecy, in terms of what this new financial system is going to be that we're about to encounter, it's almost as if, and the cards were kind of telling me this, actually they were telling me this last night, that there's some silent winners already chosen in the background. It's like they're sleeping giants, and one day we're going to wake up and those sleeping giants are going to be worth more. And there's not going to be a lot of fanfare around it. There will be some celebration. Obviously, the ones who chose well will be celebrating. Those who kind of missed out will be disappointed or sad. I get all of that. Like, to me, that's the crash, right? It's the FOMO aspect of it, but not that anything crashes and burns down to the ground. It's really more a metaphorical, like a disappointment if you missed out. But the cards were then telling me, and then this is what I got this morning, was that, you know, I was asking, what is it going to look like when it does show up? And no joke, it showed up as equal parts, two sides of a whole, a yin and a yang. It's as if there's two different money systems, which could be fiat cash and could be crypto. I mean, I do feel like crypto is a piece of this new financial system. But on one side of it, it's very much male oriented. It's very much about saving and holding. And it's about, you know, external view of like how your money is viewed externally. On the other side of it was female. It was very much about sharing. And it was very much about the internal journey and how you feel about money internally. And it's blending those two aspects of self, really, to create what this new system is going to be. Almost as if 1 + 1 = 3, because the two are going to merge together and create something totally new. We haven't seen it. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. So it's hard to put a label or a name on it. So I'm not even going to try. But I just feel like it's the blending of the two to create something new, a new third. And there is going to be a peaceful transition of power. And I do feel like there's going to be some new possibilities of how we're going to leverage money. Like for my son and I right now, we're in this debate of, do we stay in Texas or do we go to Montana? We actually want to go to Montana, and we're putting steps in place to do that. But you know what? He also wants to stay in Texas too. And I'm like, oh my God, how do we make that work? Perhaps this financial system, this sleeping giant, will invest ourselves well, and we'll have the abundance to be able to do both. And we're not going to be constrained by 3D concepts that are going to hold us back. Like, we can truly create from our heart's desire. And I feel like everyone is going to have that opportunity. And there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there. And that's part of what this fifth dimensional kind of mindset is all about, is creating from heart and knowing that you get to move powerfully in your own direction, whatever you say that direction is going to be. And so part of my new work that I feel like I'm stepping into is to help coach people around this new abundance that we're all going to walk ourselves into very shortly. I hope very shortly. My mom says I'm kind of leading the witness here, and to some extent that may be true. You know, I might have a vested interest in some of this, but I also truly believe that this is the direction that we're going. My intuition is consistently kind of guiding me in that place. And I've had some just really new epiphanies and insights recently that are helping me to kind of see things from a new perspective. And so I feel like my role is to kind of lead by example and to show how I've transitioned from, you know, I can turn that water faucet from a trickle to a garden hose or a pressure washer. But, you know, now I got to work on that foundation, that colander, that, you know, bucket with holes in it. How do I kind of plug those holes? And then how do I share that wealth and give it to other people and help others with it, whether it's financially or if it's through information and through the insights that I'm receiving through tarot. And so what I want to do is just help people identify what this new financial system is going to be about and how they can navigate their own waters and their own bucket. You know, if you also have a colander, like, let's work on it together. Let's talk about how we can shift our own internal mindset, because it truly is the blending of the male and the female, the yin and the yang, the sharing and the holding, the internal and the external. That's what this new money system is all about. And it's going to allow us to break free from the shackles of 3D concept reality and move into something that's totally possible, totally new. We can't even conceive of it just yet. We might not even have the language to know what it's called, but it's coming up, and it's a blending of the two. And we're going to be able to, you know, experience life without the constraints of financial burdens, without the constraints of structure that used to be, because we're in a 9-year vibrationally. Structures are coming apart at the seams very quickly, and we're going to start to see whole new structures pop up. So let's not confine our new reality based on the old systems of the way that things have been in the past. It's going to all shift and change, and the financial system is a big piece of that. And so the first step that I'm taking is to declutter, get rid of the stuff that no longer serves my best and highest good. Things that I used to need for my 3D reality or my past life, you know, here, you know, my previous experiences in Montana or when we first moved to Texas. We're going to get rid of all that stuff that holds us back, that no longer serves us, that's not going to be going with us in the new reality we're about to create in terms of what's next. And so that's what we're doing today. I hired a dump truck service, or, you know, one of those things that comes to your house with like a big trailer. And I've got a ton of garbage and stuff from when we moved here a year and a half ago that's still sitting upstairs in a media room that we use as our awesome box fort room, which is now just kind of a junk room and no one goes in there. So I'm going to start getting rid of all of that stuff. And I would challenge all of you to also figure out how you can start to declutter things in your life, things that used to have importance to you in the way your life has been up to this point, but do you need it going forward? Is it going to be part of your world as you move forward? If no, get rid of it. Either have a garage sale, donate it, sell it, toss it, do whatever you need to do with it, but get it out of your house, get it out of your space, and get it out of your just energetic field, because we're all going to move powerfully together. And I do believe that this is going to be just sort of a very gentle, peaceful transition of power, peaceful transition into a new financial system, and a peaceful transition into our new world. So I'm excited to have you guys come along for the journey with us as we do it personally. My son and I got to go in the house and go make sure he's ready, because he owes me some work hours this morning in exchange for a video game he bought the other day. So anyways, this is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot, and I hope you have a great rest of your day while I'm pitching junk out of my house. All right, take care. Bye.